Ramakrishna Mission has its existence for nearing a century in Meghalaya. For about 2 decades, the small hamlet has been closely connected, with Ramakrishna Mission being the site of various developmental projects. The Wahkhen village. The people of Wahkhen village are simple and often leading a challenging life because of its remoteness. But it is famous for its picturesque surroundings and being the seat of Kasi traditional music. Little did we know earlier that it is also a place where the craftsmen are knitting stories that would be offered to posterity through various musical instruments, dance ornaments and more. Little did we know that beyond whispering pines we were about to find a whistling village. We tried to find out the story. Everyone in the village enjoys a life in this picturesque hamlet, untrodden by the influence of urban life. Unlike any village in plains, you must cross terrains to reach out to this beautiful hamlet. We met Shri Shonglang Malnyang, a craftsman with a difference.
Okay, kubleba.
He has a tiny workshop wherein he shapes all the equipment that are integral part of the Kasi festival. Kasi traditional music Mr. Shonglang is a shy person. We asked him as to how he has learned this craftsmanship. He said that he simply tried on his own by watching. And he thought he could try himself, and he's been doing this since 5 years. And now he has people who he has trained who also help him in completing the work.
Persiang. Tadala persiang ti don gi ba ikop ki ba idai ki ya panthen ki ya panthen ti ki ya phashna ki ong shna lang yang ta nya chu shna la ban shna man ngir man ta bon gi ya no ya pha.
His childhood was spent in the same village, and after his marriage he continued working here. He earns his livelihood by making all these musical instruments and ornaments.
Kadang kena, ni sana.
Okay.
Tambah nan tu kadang kena dengan saya kamar ni ya kini agak kuam sina je sina. Ngine sina kali kayu kena.
Oh, kali.
Nah, ti sina terak ni sina menjarpot kena ada kamhat roti. Tah ngi piar ngi sina bunjat ni tep diur ngasai persiang man ketih man sina. Ta ski ta sina bun jat kali.
Peni sebab ke tiar tu ni dari you kumno fishna ni.
He showed us all the articles he has made and even how he shapes them.
Ni deng kumno. Kumno badang kentai ni deng
shunrang. Badang bad kentai bad shunrang.
Among the articles he makes, there are ornaments, percussion instruments, and string instruments. The bomb, kiksing, padia, duitara,
tu jong rupa apa? Jong.
Une
hai.
Une pan nhiệt này odang này. Kentai ya.
Ti kumno fish nak ni. Dak you.
We made a mistake.
Nah, ada ka
manium.
Kini.
She told us that silver is expensive. And goldsmith's work is quite.
Oh, dah kan ni. Timun shua di sina ada rupa ni.
Aluminium.
Maniam baik.
Oh, menshua yo sina bro de rupa.
Dah rupa.
He uses aluminium to make
rupa ngam tip
bisna rona enak works on commission basis. Sometimes he makes things by
rupa ngam tip sur ban sina. Tengah thit kan na sina kan maniam.
Pi yo dor babiang.
Kada.
Na ai ki vriu ki thit.
Ya ki, ne.
Hai.
Kini te, kum kini ya?
Kum kini again.
kum kini panchiet
He shim order.
He says that his earnings
he
are
makes and he
seasonal,
sells.
since people order for these during the festivals only.
That you ask, then he will say.
Nanang man yang ba ya kan ni katir radap sna fidi syair ni file ba yo order na ilong berapa order apa punya nomor
di pelak order don gì order cái coba bina di sing kafe kino thì order thì đó bencana pancingiat bencana atau bencana ne tabak terpeng ujung senrang
Jong senrang pidang don.
Minta 4 don alut.
Kini ki jing tempat hishna kumno. Peni to jing tem sing.
Kini
Ni barit. Ha.
The percussion instrument requires
Defi-
several
isna
ingredients.
da.
One of them is the wood, which is made mostly from the
Jine
jackfruit
de.
tree
Kini
for the shell.
te
The vertebrates and the string to
Kini
tie
dari
it
kideng
strong
sokpan,
is made
ata
of cow leather,
une
which
te
was being
snake,
processed
snake.
by one of his assistants.
Une dari snake masih
Snare
ata
masih.
The top
Kini
skin
dari snake bang.
beater is
Snake
made of
lang.
goat leather,
Ata
and he uses
kini
shellac
geraha.
Laha.
for
Di
beating
berong basau
area.
em la long ba
At the
yong
center
mentang
of
awi.
top skin
Sai long basau ni ba yong.
Kum ni
Kum ni hi ba.
ata krem don kini krem biang de kasur. Don kini kawan kasur.
To tem kai kendian.
He isn't that good with his musical acumen, though he tried his best, but he knows how to make the instrument work properly. The two-sided drum or sing has a male and a female counterpart. They call it Gakanthei and Ushinram. The smaller one has to be played with hand,
Kini
and the Shinram,
Kini
the male
kot
part,
kya
which is a little
singenthei.
bigger, has to be played with a stick,
Tek
and
sing
the stick
senrang
too
pa.
is crafted by
senrang
him.
dari kini.
Ni, kau pilih sipang. क्या पूछना है
Kini dari kising senrang.
He felt shy when he
Nero.
asked whether he
Diung
has
kuat.
learned how to play this.
Une
And he says
Nero
since
ding
childhood
sokpan.
they
Ding
have been
sokpan,
playing
okay.
with it.
Ding
So they know
ini
how
Kini ki
these
snake
are
masih.
to be
snare masih
played.
hang ni badang kena kini ru ke snare masih ne
Kini ki snake masih ya.
snare masih ha
Kini dari kum kini. Thai.
tapi dong beriu ban yarap ya phi kanung
Kita ni ya sau ngột san ngột
sangot
nong ya rap
to tem kendian
thế là ada
dia dan dah
là tròn
này ding tempat filanang na na
bánh tem
ha ban tem
bánh tem ta đón thì bây giờ nàng thế này ta tên thì bà phần long skur tem tang ba pada miyopor man lai
Yo por ban lai. Te fi ong pi la long sans nam ban shina kum kini kitiar. Te ha shwa pat shai thiet na ai yo na ai gen kini ki jing tem bat jing deng kum to.
kini ki jing tem ta man shwa shai don ni mama ring ba shai nai
Hang ni ga shnong Wahkhen ne.
hat no Wahkhen ta don ni mama dang ba wa klan nói
Wahkhen.
yo i tang ta cái ni mama ba chna cái
Ra teng kum no. Chong
ma ha khôn
ma hep khon.
Thế tài cái tên có kine ta nga chuyo i ti ha chan nong krem đấy na poi ha yeng pai thu
Te shis nem pi tarai na kan nutuli.
kine
Te shat nong rem te tang shisien shis nem. Te baro shis nem pat pi shna you pi what does he do no? Please ask him. What is his profession like that?
Ini orang dan sum tiar waktu senang. Kita pergi tiar kan, lagi kita tem tiar syakan. Lagi dan ni kita pergi tiar waktu senang. Itu nan kam tu. Tapi beliau kan, jadi memang kasih.
to lại đi nè phụ kina ki kiau ki poliang ki ba jot ki ba pe ra nga ki teng chna nya ba yo ki por
Repairing work.
to bon jai
Bunja.
As his earning is seasonal, so he makes other stuff useful in the kitchen for day-to-day use. The one he showed us is in wooden pestle, used for grinding raw spices, known as clong. Don't get surprised by the presence of this item if you're too used to electronic gadgets.
Batai kum no. Kini dia you le ban le you fit.
kine ki klong
From.
sibu Bandung Piat Bandung Ing Bandung kumta te ki Bandung
So this one to he makes full whole year no for his livelihood. What else he does is for his livelihood. Earning kaise pata. You ask, then he will answer. No?
Mr. Shonglang showed us the string instrument of the Duitara, where he uses the goat skin leather and the strings are made from muga thread or the silk thread of The number of strings depends on the order. Sometimes they ask for Duitara with 4 strings, sometimes
Sainar
it's
part,
just 2
Sainar,
strings.
Fidang don Sainar.
Ane tớ đu say muka như là
Sai muka. Kanu, how many threads no of muga he will use for that one
sau
you say, you ask no, you have to ask.
Krishna itu terang bakat itu kesai itu nan kam.
Kandok sai kan.
kine don kam sau sai
Sau sai.
tớ don ki pesan sai aba don order pi pesan sai
When asked as who are his main customers, he told us that he gets his
I order
orders from
na
the
na
city
again.
as well as from the
Your
village.
order.
kine sai
Na po shlong ne na again.
na po silong ra don hi ki ta ki ba
Kala.
ki ba na po silong ra don hi ki bukwa di tem
So whom he is teaching this skills, because later the skills will be lost if he doesn't teach anyone. So is he
thực teng cũng kine ra ki bukwa
He showed us some of the miniature forms of ghosts.
china re ban bộ hai yeng
Buhay.
bộ
These,
pa
as he said, is mainly taken as decorative items. This has a demand as tourists like to buy it as a souvenir. The items that he made were xing,
Kane ka bom.
and
Bom.
padia. Padia is a small
bom
drum usually
bom
heard
rudon
around
kan
the
thai
waist
chin rang
while playing.
tang shi jai
Chai. Te kine long ki sisat kum nai. Kine ki don sisat.
ani re
Kine padia.
padia
Ta kine ki sing chen rang. Kine ki sing kan thai.
sing kan thai
Hmm.
bom padia
Padia.
ne pan
Sing chen rang
sin
itu.
sin rang ti sin rang pat don tu ba sa ba yong tang
Itu
si
don.
kan thai ga don
Kine dan kam tem bad udeng.
ba do dia
Kine
ne da
tang
ti
tang dekati.
Amun biasanya ba hakto Krishna kan
When asked if he is willing to teach the skills, his answer was that in affirmative. He is ready to teach anyone who is interested to learn with sincerity and patience.
bahkan nek kan sa kan ka don dem ring bla ki kai ki ai ki kai man sna ikini kitar syak ne tetem teput ko Krishna ta lalu ki trom lalu ki gitara lalu ki sing bom lalu ki pasien syak nang tetem pun ta bla don dem mi gitu bla ai ki kai jo ki wa ban ai kai kila ne man ai ki kai ne kan bla don malu malu wa ban sim ni kai na ti
Kata tu ngar kine ki ba kuat lah kai ta khot ngah khot ni. Kine ki nong bela ki nong kuat ban ya nang tu. Ya nang ki ban isna kan. Nama ban nak kata ka. Ban nak kine ki ba cak isna mai lalu nak kum ki niam tenai ke kine. Ki baju ya. Sna yu ya sha le kan. Kuat benar kan.
ya kun jong pi ne kun pi dang hi kai ni ya
Yu khôn đang cài đang cài.
ya ki kin thai ru ki la ban shina ne tang ki shin rang
Cái cần thế luôn cái lạ hay bằng chuyện nào.
kin thai ru ki la
Cũng ta hay cái nghe lại có hay bằng giác tiếp thì mình giác tiếp làm hay gì mà.
ta ba ni ki ni pi dang shina sing shin rang pi sing shin rang te ini de ding na ai ding ayu
Ini udah sok pan.
ding so pan namar dang ne bali pi shim ding so pan hi ki ding long thế ding xe long thế
Cái lỏng tặng ba. Ini pada ulang khám nè slam. Tabu ni isna kini dari kini kibala ayau. Kini kibam long su. Kisah kibam long so.
long shot tu
Mar kini kibala long ayam no kan.
layak no
Isna pendon kam no isna kesing isna bom.
tenang ta kan du si shin
To make the bigger instruments,
Isna gini.
it would take about
Full
6 to 7
ani
days to complete. And of
But
course,
sinalut,
the smaller
Baru
ones
set kini.
Baru
quite
set, hai.
intricate
Set.
work.
oh si subuh si
Subo tang kini.
Tang kini.
Tang kini. Ini kira abam por si. Reus ni.
drus ni tu bom ba he pa bom pa tu bom ni
Ini.
tu duru dia ke tu
Oh ni. Oh ni ta kam tam dit. Ni subon reus ni kita ada nyaus ni.
nhiều si tu dia so pan hi tu
Tu rồi ding sok.
so pan te pi if you ask him if he's earning
พันเยอะแบบนั้นเรื่อง2,000สิบหาชินองหาเท่าที่เราดังบนเรื่อง2,000ดับไปทางชินองในพี่นั่นในสิ่งที่ชินองเลยก็ละมันไหลพี่สิ่งที่เรื่อง2,000นั่นนะคือเดินช่วยได้สมุนตาและพี่และสิพี่เยอะในชินองเรื่อง2,000รายเยี่ยมในชินองคิมละคิมเยอะช่วยในชินองนั่นมันคือชินองคิละใช้กันเยอะเรื่อง2,000ชินอง
It takes
Ya,
time and
tu ban lai
effort
wat
to
ke
collect
kawai
all the
kawai
ingredients.
kawai
Jack
kan
fruit
ha
and
ban
tree
lai wat.
trunk is usually
thiệt lắm.
available
Thiệt
around
lắm.
the village, but perhaps not always
whatever
enough in
he's
number.
earning
when
is it enough for
order
him
is
or he wants to
So he has to procure the log from other villages around. As for other ingredients, he has to collect them from the city, like aluminium and the bronze sheets, the shellac, the strings and the leather strings.
Te cái jing yo te kayo ay kendir
It is
tarai
said
kumba
that men don't reveal
halol
their
bay bam bay di
earnings, but
umpi te
this
kenyalan te
guileless
ta
gentleman did. He
Athawai
earns
thau
about
hajar
30 to
kalai
40,000, which is just enough for his livelihood. Perhaps
from
when your
5
personal
when does he
requirement,
increase
your
the
work
price,
is your
no?
passion,
Dan
this is
saya mau
bound
keluar
to be.
mati lah pergi orang doa no dan mensuap apa berang sena kan no pi chat yang orang kid she said lu kan bom
Tem san stem ha shua pidang tidak la sedang ya te la penkiu ni
la pen keu an gitu namar ba la keu dor tu subo kumbine ki sne ra thet na sol na yeo ra ga kam keu dor kumbine ga kam keu dor ngi la ban pen keu kumbit
kini niam ke tiet na
sor
na nong kan
kini te sinong kan dong
snir pat
ha
kini snir ru hap tien
kini ki
snir masih piong
kisne masih oh kini ngi ya thet ti sa yeo na sor hap thet kini sne blang lai te na sor
ti ban sina kini ki shim tiar ayu tang Pidon kap tiar ayo ban sina kini ha tiar ke ki tiar
ke
tari bad
kitiar ban sina kini ra ki hap sina hi kitiar
oh ki turu hap sina hi
kitiar kan namaran thet bun ki bum yo kan
bun ki bam yo te hap sina hi pi le da ka electric ne pi le da ka ti ne pun no
te don ki mesin ki ba
Mesin.
ki ba long ban nyat
Penyi
nan cerong ne
kita ki mesin ki sedang simban sina kini
ki badai ban ti hap sina hi kemudian kini
kini
kini ki bandung
te ban mesin pi ong mesin ayu
te mesin te tangkum kini
oh
kini ban nyat sini cerong ne
sini ban ya sini cerong
cerong
tangkan ni
tangan ne tangkan ne reban nyat tang sini cerong ngai kan ne chapo ta ru tial hap sina hi
hap sina hi kinu ki tiar pilar sina hi kini te bahaya kan tu baret dan kam ban tiar baret ban sina shapo da kini gi bahaya ru kabyang
da kini ban dong sana kan
bang batai pinggir semangat nubis na siat lah
kini lagi banyak pot dah
yang mah bang batai pinggir ni kan sena
hato batai kunu krishna kini gi tiar
It was
suam
interesting
sina
also
kini
to see
tiar
the unusual
amor
tools that he uses
hap
to
sina
do his
suai
job,
kini
except for a few, all of which has to be made in situ by himself. The measurement, etc., happens with these tools or
Timo
just
damur fi ban sina kini
casual
Mora
estimation
sina wa
with eye.
kumbine telah ada sina kini ne pas ya
Hola. To. Nam tapan. Dia ban sina tliu.
bẩn china clear
Buat tradisional clue ni.
atau film kam lagi jing theo ni supaya tanda ke khat na ba fit sam ni ke theo ta cik ni theo
ngasu paitan lagi keman
Baik dan pandai.
atau baru kini kita orang suapan sina pihak sina hiru dalade di mundur dekat tang dekat di mundur di jampi itu kita baru kai ba soal plan kam ni
Terang tak kini pat gitu.
kini
Kini hat. Tapi sedang ni mah.
ini tu lah bonjat jadi tiar di badai ni
Kini kita baru pilas nahi.
oh gitu lagi syutir
Syutir. Kena itu pilas na thai.
itu lagi bersah ya
Ha so ông ba cũng như phi này đấy.
mòn badai mà uneu tiar uneu badai hang này tiền une ada bensina komti une pam komti tas une pan une pam komti pi to persiang hana bensina
Persangsa.
siang sina
Besok dia sudah.
bu tangkum kala nyok sa kan
Ikan dek.
no tang nok sa Kini ada gimana?
हाँ डालो एक short English है so we've seen that this design is made and for each of these holes and this tip and the bigger holes we have different equipment to do. The smaller holes are made with this and then the measured and the bigger holes are made with another one like this and this way. For each design there is a different equipment that he makes himself and it's not possible to get them purchased, and here he will have to again do the filing, the fine tuning of the edges of these holes. So all these, for each design he has a separate equipment which he makes himself. Here pin shimban shinaka kumkine shuba taishpa.
Đây cái này thì
Thế.
từ cái này lòng chịu bụng này cái này là ăn lòng đã phân mì alai lòngเขาเรียบตี
Klep untuk
untuk lihat ini ada sisa cina ini penmi
tak klep shop ni memang.
thì
Đó. Cũng này mà.
ta dan siu sa
Thế lạ lòng liều mà này. Thếพี่ทับอายุเป็นลองเขียบเนี่ย
dan ka laha
laha thế cái này jing đen quá học thiện nó
cái này chính đang
học thiện
tạm begini sini ada kah bukan nih kah nong ini
đây ayu cái này đây niệm em
đây mana yang gini kira nong ini kam rem dor
mau lần này hỏi mau lần này thì yo na ấy thì
ini ada ya thiệt na so
kan du ki thiệt ni beram ne ba biang hi ki dor
biang iki dor kim ran
te ta ne phi shu bo kum ne ta da ka yu
ngim ta ngi khliap dengan ne
phi khliap okay. So these are not very expensive, made of plastic. These stones he gets from city, and this is not fixed. This is just, this is not pasted, but it is fixed with the help of those small parts of metals that they are here. And this one is bronze. And all these equipments that he demonstrated with the help of aluminium actually is made from bronze. This as well as this one. And this chain, of course, he has to get from a city to just fix it on the main part of earring that he makes.
We couldn't thank him enough for all his efforts he made to explain us. But above all, these craftsmen are the support system of the culture which is so valuable. The lifeline of all these rituals and festivities that are so sacred to hold the most endearing culture of the Khasis. Had it not been for these people, the craftsmanship would still remain with the royal goldsmiths doing intricate work with costly metals like gold and silver. And with the advent of modernity in all its senses, who can say the traditional craftsmanship would have died within one of two generations? Off we went to find another intriguing feature of this village, the whistling people. We found a few who were interested to shoot themselves with all their talents and rituals and practices. So let us begin the session.
So we are in this village, Wahkhen, which is famous for whistling. People whistle to each other, whether they talk by whistling or they give names by whistling. We will ask one of the residents of this village, Mr. Upstar Khongain. Hello, Upstar.
Hello. Yes.
Please tell me, as why do people call this as whistling village? And especially, do you talk through whistling or you give names through whistling?
Wahkhen village is one of the villages famous in this whistling. But to say about the story of this is really difficult for us because we don't know who have started this whistling in our village. But since I believe since our forefather, this whistling it has been there in our village and we are keeping it. Even today we are using it from today and we will use it in the future too.
Okay.
And,
so for small children, how does it start?
For small children, when we are just born, maybe a week or two, our mother used to sing whatever song, whether a Hindi song, Bengali song,
a lullaby,
whatever song the mothers or the parents like to while breastfeeding their children. And from that time, it becomes to the child, we call it Kajingrua Bay. And from that Kajingrua Bay, it comes to the whistling. We don't call it by name to the persons we stay nearby. Even to me, I have my own Kajingrua Bay, which they call me by whistling. Just whistle it, and I understand that it is mine. And this whistling is very unique, I must say. Very few villages use it.
How many villages around this place also use a bit of this whistling?
As you know, there are some villages like Kongtong that has been popularly known for whistling village, and there are some other villages in down Peninsula side who are using it till today, but I don't know exactly.
So it's basically a song which parents sing to their children, and from that song a whistling sound is created.
Yes, it is from their parents who make their song. We call it Kajingrua Bay, and from that time,
yes.
This whistling from the Kajingrua Bay comes the whistling, and from time to time we use it while calling instead of like in Shillong city or in other village, they call it by names, no? Mem, be, read, or have, or something like that. But instead of calling that, we just whistle it, and our children will understand. Or my friends, if I whistle it, they will understand that it is I am calling them.
Okay.
Or on the other side, if they call me, by whistling, I understand it is they are calling me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Your
Something
friend
like
is
that.
standing there.
Yeah.
Will you call him through whistling?
I'll just show the example by calling him. So,
What is he saying?
we are just calling it by name instead of calling by name to him.
You're
I
calling
just
each
call
other.
Each other by
Okay.
with
Okay. So your uncle is here. If he has to call you, how will he call?
Seo. He is calling me. It's the same, and I will try to call him in his radio way because
Oh, that's wonderful. But upstairs, when new people come and settle here, especially the men folk, how do they adopt to this system? Sometimes men folk from other villages, those who don't practice whistling, they would come and settle here.
many people who come, they feel that is very wonderful. It's a unique type of calling each other. So they try to learn it. They try to adopt it. This is our custom, whistling it each other. But instead of that, they have to make it their kajing rayo by first.
Young
We do it, even the child from 2-3 years, they make 2 other child. They sing a song like Hindi song and a song, and sometimes that song which made by the small kids, it becomes the right way to someone's. Okay?
Someone's.
And we use this song into whistling to call that person. This is really a wonderful customs, I must say. It's very unique.
So when some men from other villages, they come and settle here, do you give one jingruwa yobe to that person also who is grown up?
If they are willing.
If they are willing,
to
okay.
accept, we are ready to give anytime, in a moment. For example, when I was in Calcutta, my child make a jingruwa yobe to all the staff of Meghalaya Calcutta.
Okay.
There, and we used to, till date, I just whistle their jingruwa. They understand.
They understand.
This is for just an example. See.
So, over here, let us have a whistling session. So, upstairs, please whistle to call your uncle. Okay, you please call upstairs. You also please call upstairs. It's interesting that when he was being called by his uncle and his friend, the whistling sound was similar. And a whistling sound is learnt by one and all who knows the person for whom the whistling sound is assigned. Once again, all of you please have a session. Please call him. You also please call him. So we have this wonderful surrounding, the hills and mountains. We can guess, we don't know the history of whistling, but we can guess maybe people who would travel from one hill to another hillock would call each other through whistling, because calling names would not be that shrill and sweet at the same time to call each other. So let this custom continue and let this uniqueness be there with this Wahkhen village.
We left the village with this bit of experience and warmth in our bosoms. As we moved away, a question struck our minds. Does progress only mean urbanization? Should it always have to come at the cost of fading traditions? But the setting sun had its ray of hope, that the dazzling ornaments of dance, the strong sounds of the drums, and the melodies of the whistles of Wahkhen village would reach out to every corner of the world. Education will come. It will bring in the light in which would shine the spiritual culture of Meghalaya.